All right, hey everybody, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley, and this is just a collective energy reading to see how we can best utilize the full moon energy in Libra that we're coming off of. The full moon was yesterday, and then we are in Aries season. I'm not an astrologer, so I know there's a lot of other shit going on. Specifically, I believe Pluto in Aquarius is what's making shit hit the fan, like revolution, empire, like falling ways. Um, but I just want to do this collective reading to, shed light on how we can best use the energy. So I have I've got four decks here, but there's two in particular that I want to check into. One being the Yin Yang Oracle. I was just talking about the Yin Yang and balance, and that's the sign of Libra. So I did just shuffle these. I'm going to shuffle them again, so I'm going to put you down. But I talk really quiet, so I'll probably pick you up once I draw the cards. But I don't want you to think that I'm trying to give a particular reading or not. And the school buses are picking up. So the first one we have is summer and growth. So we're coming up on summer, so hopefully that's going to be a time for growth. I've seen a lot of not good things coming for summer from some folks. We've got confusion, illusions, and Neptune. Let me do a really good shuffle. I feel like there is a lot of confusion and illusion, and maybe it's going to get worse in the summer. Like I said, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know if Neptune's going to be prevalent in the summer. We've got avoidance and stalemate, and we've got decisions, and it came upside down, which is a really big message. When they show up upside down, it means that, yeah, okay, here we go. Here we go. Wow. Okay, so that's Pluto and transformation. So I know that's really annoying when people who pull cards do that shit. So I apologize. But this one, the shadow side, and the moon. So I'm specifically speaking about this Libra full moon to see what we can use this for. So it seems as though we are going to be in a collective dark night of the soul, which, I mean, if you're paying attention, that seems pretty obvious. I think the thing that's scaring me that I want to pull a clarifier on is how many atrocities that there are going to have to be before things get better. I think that's so. We have confusion, illusions, growth, summer, avoidance, decisions. So, I mean, that's where we are as a collective. There's confusion, there's this conspiracy talk, right? There's just so many dichotomies, and there's literal genocides happening. But so a dichotomy is like a split, right? So there's so many different divisions among the collective for all of these different things: trans people, Bud Light, um, black people, indigenous people, white women. I mean, all of these, hey, don't be a hater. All of these things, like, there's so many dichotomies. I mean, about the abortion stuff. I mean, but the thing that's freaking me out is how fast fascism is here. And so I feel like, remember, this decisions. So as a collective, we have to be making decisions. We have to decide what side of history we're going to be on. If we're going to be on the right side, for justice, which is what this full moon is all about, justice. And you are going to have dark nights of the soul. If you choose to be on the right side of history, they're going to have to do your inner work. Decolonizing and shadow work are very much the same. And that serves to our transformation. And I mentioned that Pluto is in Aquarius, and it hasn't been in Aquarius since, I think, the last time America had a revolution. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I feel like a lot of people have been really taking these two things, confusion and illusions, and avoiding and stalemating, and um, participating in this system that is oppressive, right? So I feel like we're gearing up for a summer of growth and for folks to decide, to make that decision. Where'd it go? To make that decision if they're going to be on the right or wrong side of history and do their shadow work, the dark night, and transform. Because once you do, these rose colored glasses aren't going to exist anymore. You're going to see the truth. You're not going to be seeing illusions. You're not going to be confused. You're going to understand what's happening. But until we do that as a collective, I just pulled one more, transcendence and unity. That's the goal, right? So that's the goal that's my goal. So for this summer of growth, we want to get into unity and transcendence. And so these cards are telling us pretty flat out. Let me just pull randomly in the middle. Being open to receive, but external party. So yeah, it feels like we want to be open to receiving, and we are also, this card just popped out of nowhere, spy, watching, and inspecting. And that's what's happening with this Restrict Act that is being passed at a federal level. I think it's at a federal level. But the Restrict Act would be absolutely horrible. I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if it's already passed or not. But so I want us to understand that, I guess I don't even need all these. The powers that be are losing their strength and they're losing their power, which is why they're moving so fast to instill that hold. However, it's efficient. They're stealing babies from their parents. They're banning books. We are definitely in the process of genocide, but at varying levels for varying different groups that are not people that this country wants to hold power. So I'm going to pull from this other deck quick, my Gaia Oracle. Gaia is the name of Earth. So let me put you down quick while I shuffle. So those messages came out pretty strong. I really love this deck. It was pretty straightforward. So I want to pull from the Gaia Oracle because Mother Gaia is pissed itself as well. That was not good. What is this? Eternal love, happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. Just bent my card. But as we know with the weather patterns, and yes, everything is talking about climate change, but Gaia herself, the earth, is dying very rapidly by these same people that have us oppressed, that have us in chains, that are doing these things at these alarming rates, right? So, get out of here. Woodstock is a part of Gaia. Oh, here we go. Evolution, earth changes, and transformation. And on the other side, thinking of you, a loving thought, serendipity. And maybe that can just speak to like pulling in our loved ones, and not even the loved ones, but having love for the people that are being targeted. Hi, buddy. Here we go. Top of the deck. Liberation. Breaking free from negative attachment. Oh, is he awake? My baby's still sleeping. I'm going to just pull these randomly, how I feel called. A hidden gift, sadness, an ending, and a new beginning. So that with liberation, we need an ending to this system. We need to start over. And I want to also speak to the collective as, especially in this cancel culture, not everybody has the same, this card won't go down, goddess of creation, transformation, creativity, wholeness. So that's how many times has transformation come up in this reading? But I really do want to speak to, what was I saying? I have ADD. I really want to speak to, what was I saying? Oh, the cancel culture. Shit, everybody has a different role to play. Even the people who are um, doing these horrible things. There's a balance within light and dark. And, it's not all love and light. There's a balance of light and dark within yourself. Um, and I feel like a lot of this is like, especially with what we just pulled from that first deck, having that dark night of the soul, but doing it individually. Because if we all do that, and if we're all accepting our darkness, especially in this Leo full moon where it's about the balance, the light and dark, and about justice, if you're accepting the darkest parts of you, then you're going to have balance within yourself, which is going to help the collective, right? Um, Remembrance is coming up, and that's resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. And this is a huge part of the process of a dark night of a soul. It is going through your inventory. It is taking inventory of yourself. It's remembering the bad times. It's remembering the good times. It's remembering the things that come through, right? And Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love. So if you're working through that stuff within yourself individually, and that's what I do for my work, I'm a healer. I've had many dark nights of the soul, and I've had many nights I didn't think I was going to wake up from um, because of the darkness within myself. But I've found balance. You're not supposed to be a perfect person, but if you're not a person who is down with like what they're doing at this level, and I'm talking about they being these fascists that are trying to just shuttle us into, backwards into the 1930s and 40s and 50s. Um, you know, as a collective, we have a responsibility to look out for each other, but we also have that responsibility to do the work ourselves, and first and foremost. And I'm hoping that this finds the people who are willing to do that work, because a lot of people aren't. And like I said, everybody plays a role in this. We're not all supposed to do the same thing. We're not all supposed to have cards to pull. We're not all supposed to, not all of us are having the ability to go to these capitals. Not all of us have the ability to, withdraw our children from these schools. And so we have to fight for the people that don't. Look at that. Oh my God, that's crazy. I just put my cards away from the first reading. I put them back in the box while I was just talking. And look, the whole fucking reading was sitting out. Wow. So I just want to talk about that. It's just, there's no right or wrong way, but you do have a process within yourself. Um, And when you do come into consciousness, and when you are paying attention to what's happening, and you are conscious of the way that you affect these things and the way that you support or agitate these systems, that's the process of coming into consciousness. Then, all of us have a certain level of consciousness. It's not like you have to start at a kindergarten level and work yourself up. See, there's many fucking paths. All right. This is my other oracle, the mystical oracle shaman. So there are many paths, you know, and we have to make the decision about which path we want to go down. I'm going to shuffle these a little bit more. I'm doing it in my lap because I have to talk quietly. Even though he's inside, I feel like if I talk too loud, I'll wake him up. And we're on this journey, okay? The numbers also have significance. So this is 11. 29 equals 11 in numerology. Sorry, my dog is chewing up a fucking gallon of milk bottle. And here's Aries showing up. Aries is a fire sign. So I feel like there's just what there's just so much. There's just so much. But I mean, what this reading is really coming down to is that you, as an individual watching this, are a part of this collective. And you have a responsibility to do your own healing, to find your own path, to make your own decisions that are not going to uphold these systems of oppression. And that can look different from me. I'm doing my own thing, but it's been 15 years of me being on this path into consciousness and on this spiritual journey. I've had many dark nights of the soul. Um, and I'm here for you. I'm here as a reference. I'm here to support folks. Um, I'm here as someone who's been through this. So if you're just starting and you've never had a dark night of the soul, it's inevitable if you want to continue growing, and it's inevitable if you want to have an impact on these systems of oppression. And it's also inevitable that these systems of oppression are going to target you eventually. And I'm speaking to folks who do have privilege, who have only experienced privilege, because a lot of us, it wasn't until I ended up incarcerated that I started my journey. And I hope that doesn't have to happen for you, which is why we're doing these readings. None of these cards that I'm pulling resonate. So I don't know. I don't feel like I need this deck. But we are in this this Libra full moon energy for the next day or two. And so now I'm just going to pull a couple more cards that are chakra cards, and that can just give you some insight on where you can start. So let me put you down quick. Hi. These are tiny little cards. They're so cute. And I'm just going to shuffle these, and they're chakra cards, and they're going to tell us, they're going to tell us what you can focus on for your own body, right? And I just want you to know that we are all experiencing this, and that's a lot of paralysis can come from these things, right? Like when we're experiencing these laws that are happening, or we're hearing these horror stories, and especially if they're not, personal to us, we can get paralyzed. And so, funny, universal energy, purple. So purple is for the crown chakra. And so we do, and that's speaking to the consciousness that I named. Um, as you open to the universal energy, and as you open your crown chakra to the truth of who you are, what you're here for, you're gonna lose those colored glasses for the confusion and illusion. You're gonna lose your ability to support these systems, right? And that's part of the dark night of the fucking soul. That's all about your crown chakra opening and your consciousness taking over, right? Aligning and allowing your intuition, which is also in the sacral chakra, which is your second chakra, allowing your intuition and your universal energy to come through. This is the physical body, but that's also an orange card for the sacral chakra. So, and using your expression, blue is next, so that's your throat chakra. And these card readings are something that I've been trying to do for me personally, just as an example. This is something that I've been preparing for years, but I haven't been confident enough to do it. And here we are doing it because I'm feeling that pull. I'm feeling the need to step into my role. And I had a very clear download years ago, as to what my path was. And my mission here on this earth is to help uplift humanity. Um, and that might not be your path, and that's okay. But yeah, this is a pretty clear cut reading, and I really am glad these were the cards that I chose, because that message just delivered itself. So working on your physical body, working on aligning your intuition with your crown chakra, understanding that the universal truth that you receive doesn't necessarily look like what other people says, and the things and the way that you're going to carry out that work in your physical body on this physical plane is also going to be very different than others. But knowing that there's a place for all of us, and there's a process that we all have to participate in. All right, thank you.